I'm seeing a very specific image of two handcuff type of things, and there's a gray,
Mm-hmm.
appears to be a gray, is pointing to the handcuffs that are um, chained against the wall, and almost as if it's like the gray is saying, um, "This is real, and this is what will happen if you don't align or something." It's like a threat.
Mm, okay. Well, stand in your power. Know that you are powerful. And tell me more about this. What is the threat exactly?
It seems that the intention is to have me as surrendered as possible
Mm,
to something, and that's the first image I see are the chained cuffs. And it's like a classic. The image is almost like a screen is projecting a classic cave-like energy. Just simple, very stark stone, and that's it. That's all I'm seeing right now so far,
right.
except for
Okay.
the one gray with the very almond eyes,
How tall is this gray?
under 4 feet.
Okay. Can you describe the body?
The head seems a little out of proportion, or
Mm-hmm.
more third dimensional than the rest of the body. The rest of the body seems more stick figure or two dimensional.
Mm,
The it seems like the feet and the hands are they're not needed to have fingers and toes to be able to function. They're just flat, stick figure like.
mm.
Very gray though, very gray and very scaly isn't the right word, but rubbery. Because rubbery is a great word.
Rubbery. Okay, very good. So let's drift back in time, drifting back in time to the day that you had missing time and began to have these symptoms of CV, drifting through space and time, relaxing down deeper, asking to be shown what exactly happened on this day, and allowing for that information to come forward easily. And tell me what you begin to notice, remembering that you are safe, that you are powerful, that I am here with you. Just tell me what you're noticing. Any feelings or sensations in the body, any visuals or words that come to you.
It seems like this being is saying that they're choosing like tiers of people really carefully
Mm-hmm.
to create a compliance, and they're it's it. Hold on, I think I need a minute.
Just relaxing down, floating down, allowing the information to come forward easily.
I seem to. This is. I don't know if this is just an allegory or if this actually happened,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm in a chair,
Mhm.
and there's a needle, and the needle is attached to the arm, and the arm is hooked up to like a computer,
Mhm.
and the computer is activating a frequency.
Very good.
I think there's a little bit more still.
Okay.
There's definitely like a threat shock kind of facet to it, where they're suggesting that that it could be they could make it a lot worse, and they're letting you know that there's no way I'm going to wake up out of this until it's done,
Until what is done?
until the day is done, and the day is meant to try to this frequency thing, whatever it is going through the brain itself, and this thing seems to be really about compliance.
Mhm.
And the plan is to make people just sick enough where they can't access. It's like it's like a will to live that is a right amongst humans. They try to take the will to live away.
Mm. Why is it that they want to do that?
They're saying that they are like an underling class that is just following instruction. They're the workers,
Mhm.
and that they have been trained and programmed just to follow instructions. So they don't really know.
So who is in charge of this project?
I'm trying to ignore what I'm seeing. I'm trying to censor. I'm being shown like a renegade Nibiru group.
Mhm. Tell me more about that.
Well, we know they have a really long history here,
Mhm.
so they understand the insides and outs, and they've gathered a lot of power just
Mhm.
by being here and by understanding and by operating through the frequency of fear. So that they are they're doing a number of things. They're seeding populations of people through just sheer numbers here, and they are trying to write off or contaminate the people that are trying to remember
Mm.
or do remember and are considered a threat to the process of control. Just pretty cut and dried here.
Mhm.
Is this making any sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. Describe these beings for me. Do you see what they look like?
Well, they're definitely, at least what I'm seeing, they're doing a lot of shape shifting. So they're even when even when they appear to be human,
Mhm.
there's something very creepy.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like, if you were to look right through them, you'd know that there's nothing human about them.
Mm.
But they've been here so long, they know how to play.
Mhm. So do these beings take physical form?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned that they're seeding the population. What exactly did you mean by seeding?
They're connecting it up somehow with the body population,
Mm-hmm.
so that they're a certain percentage of the population, they're everywhere, and we don't know who they are. Really, we can't really tell. They're
Mm-hmm.
just a vibrational presence. And that vibrational presence seems to communicate to a mainframe at certain locations in the cosmos. Probably one of them is Nibiru, I would imagine. And it seems like all of Nibiru isn't like this. Just like the old mythos of the two brothers, there is a population that is not like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the ones that are gambling that people are going to stay asleep because they're saying that they're aware of the cycles,
Okay.
timelines, and how, just like you and I know that we're at the end of one era and that the power of the old timeline is depreciating, they also are aware.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are attempting to shift the power of the timeline,
Mm-hmm.
reactivate, and they're having to get very creative.
Mm-hmm. What is their interest in humanity?
It's being seen here that if people can be controlled through the fear,
Mm-hmm.
it makes them very malleable to. It's like what I'm seeing here anyway. It's a civilization of a population of beings that are so dark that they are top heavy in terms of simply wanting to rape, kill, maim, and torture.
Mm.
That was a big deal, what I just said. And they're lost there, but the power engendered in that is so big that that's all they want.
Mm.
Is
Okay.
this making any sense at all?
Yes, absolutely. It makes total sense. 100%.
But are we learning anything?
Yes, we are.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So I want to go back to this scene where you're here in the chair. And what exactly was happening to your body here? What changes were made?
It's really interesting. I got an immediate sense of the word, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, chimera,
Okay.
Chimera.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that word means not real, or like a power that appears to be real but isn't really. You'll have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
They're overlaying a story on the brain
Okay.
that is meant to completely control and be controlled. And I'm hold on. I think this has something to do with 5,
Okay.
maybe.
Tell me more about that.
It's 5, but it's also everything that's radiation frequency based because it's the most powerful weapon they've got
Mm-hmm.
because it's being, they've been developing it for so long and now it's at a height of power.
So tell me more about this overlay of the story on your brain that is radiation based. What is the story that they're overlaying?
It's like being in a real dark movie theater, only you don't know it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a I got to come up with the right word here. There is a very dense illusion that is piggybacking on the illusion that has been in place for a really long time here. It's a deepening or a thickening of the fear-based tactics that goes into the brain. And then the 5 operates as a fear-based weapon that activates the illusion.
Wow. And how many people is this happening to?
Well, I'm hearing, and I'm not very good at this part, but I'm hearing. First, I heard many, and then I heard at least 500,000.
Okay.
Because if they get to the top tier of beings that are here to spiritually awaken, then they've deactivated the awakening process in those of us that are here that they know they're here to remember. And so they don't even care if I continue to try to awaken, because they're so convinced that what they did is going to make it impossible for that to happen anyway, because of the fear. Fuckers.
Yeah, so a chimera is a single organism composed of cells with more than one distinct genotype. So it has something to do with genetics.
I find it really interesting that you're calling it a chimera, because the word I heard was a chimera.
Chimera.
But that it's just interesting that you found that word instead. You know, I had no doubt that that's important, you know?
Well, it may just be a matter of pronunciation, but
How are you spelling it?
Chimera.
Huh. So give me that again, please. The definition
is a single organism composed of cells with more than one distinct genotype.
That's wild.
It's almost like a hybrid.
Holy shit.
So then my question would be, did they do something here to overlay their own genetics or anything like that?
It sure seems like it.
Yeah.
You know, when I use that word, I didn't use it with that description at all. I was using it in terms of a very thick illusion. Well, that's sort of alive, so maybe it's like the same thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's not like I'm getting upset. It's more like my left brain is going, I want in, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's finding this conversation really fascinating and it's trying to be a good girl. So I'm going to let you
deeper and deeper down, drifting down. And I want you to go back to the scene where you're in the chair. And I want you to view that scene just from hovering over top. Just hovering over that scene and watching. Hovering over that scene and watching exactly what they're doing here. Retrieving that information.
the word paralysis comes up. It's as if they've frozen the brain matter itself.
Okay. And what happens after they freeze the brain? What are they doing?
Look up the word neocortex, would you please? Tell me what it means.
Yes, neocortex. Neocortex is also called the neopallium or the six-layered cortex. It's a set of layers of the mammalian cerebral cortex involved in higher order brain functions.
So there's a needle. That part of the brain was frozen, and then the needle went in and is doing something. So, okay, I'm surprised to have you read that. Is the neocortex like a part of the like a hemisphere or something, or is it actually just a layer, or what? Can you tell?
It is a set of layers of the cerebral cortex.
And is the cerebral cortex a hemisphere?
It is, let me see. I believe it's the front of the brain.
Like across the forehead?
Yes. And that is involved in higher order brain functions such as sensory, perception, cognition, spatial reasoning, and language.
Okay, I don't like what I'm going to say next.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if it's true, but I'll tell you what I just heard.
Mm-hmm.
That the needle made space for the insertion of false memory.
Okay. Tell me more about that false memory.
It's a way to stimulate a fake reality that everything that happened to us is real, real in a way that makes us victims, makes it so big that it feels like it's impossible to come out from under.
Yeah. What kind of memories are they implanting?
I'm going to focus on the screen in front of me and see if I can make any sense out of what, if the screen itself will give us some data.
Very good. Just tell me exactly what you're noticing.
Well, I'm noticing really rapid fire red numbers, like almost like is like software. What do they call that stuff? There's like a word for that. For the
You said rapid fire what?
numbers.
Numbers.
Like what do they do with software? There's a code, like a code.
Okay.
It's like I'm watching a really rapid fire code going across the screen.
Yeah.
It's as if the data were had been written and prepared, and it's just being run. So I don't know how that translates in terms of the kind of memories, but I think it's associated with feeling seriously victimized and unable to get out from under, like a belief that it's just going to keep happening.
Okay. What is the specific belief that they implanted into you? Allowing that to come forward easily and trusting what you get.
That particular power is real. That power that's represented in that experience. And because it isn't real, they had to make sure that the brain was reworked in a way that shifted that. Because when we came in, we knew none of this was real.
Right.
So this is about rewiring, revamping a fundamental belief in reality as we know it. Fuckers.
Yeah, they are fuckers. Okay, so they kind of rewired the brain a bit here. And created this feeling and this belief that whatever they're doing here in this experience, that their power is real and more powerful than you. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, in the original eternal memory.
Okay.
Paradise.
Okay.
And of course, they're going after people that remember.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they? They wouldn't have to go hit 8 billion people up.
Right. So this experience here, is this what caused Iris's symptoms of COVID when she woke up that day?
Well, there's a disembodied voice that's saying, yes, Iris, and you know that that's true.
Okay.
Can we prove that somehow? Or do we just trust it?
I think we have to trust it.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what happens next in this scene. They inject your brain with this needle. There's this code running to rewrite the data in the brain. And what happens next? What do you notice as you're hovering above that scene?
A lot of fear.
A lot of fear. Yeah.
It's like that paralysis, like I'm looking at my eyes
Mm-hmm.
and my eyes are still aware of what's happening, probably part of the fear tactics, right?
Right.
But the rest of me is immobile.
Yeah. Okay. What do they do next?
They basically tell me that this sickness is going to kill me,
Mm. Okay.
period.
And then what happens? Knowing that you're safe. Doing a really good job. The more information,
It's really fucking weird.
I know.
It looks like I was sexually molested, almost like not like a power over kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And it's more of a feeling that there was an invasion of my beingness in a way that the only way I can describe it is like a molestation,
Mm-hmm.
just like what I was describing earlier about the loose energy that they're living off of.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like if you haven't figured this out, Iris, this is another way of saying this is real, in a way that the brain has like all these different layers of experience as a result of that one experience.
Was this an attempt to traumatize you, or were they?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
just to add a layer.
So, in essence, it's mind control
Uh-huh.
via trauma.
Yeah. The whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Did they also retrieve any genetics or eggs or do anything as far as reproduction is concerned? DNA.
They're so cocky. They didn't do anything except torture, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They were convinced that was going to be enough. So they didn't have to do anything. I don't see any, you know, uh, aside from the fact that I'm 68, there wasn't any, I'm not seeing anything anyway.
Okay. So it was
It's just
purely,
pure torture. Yeah.
yeah, pure torture. Okay. Well, you're really brave for looking at that. Thank you.
Just being a practitioner like you are, you don't have to, you don't have to go in there and revisit anything you don't want to, right?
Right.
So there is a certain level where I'm a little detached, but it's still sort of shocking.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. You're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Is it speaking to you though?
yes, this makes 100% complete and total sense to me.
That I needed to hear that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. There's nothing that you've said that doesn't make sense. It feels aligned completely.
Okay.
Okay. So, I would like to know more about this chimera or um, this overlay of the story, or possibly a genetic infringement here that happened. Can we go deeper into that and see if there's any genetic infringement that happened here?
I think that source is describing this epigenetically,
Mm-hmm.
that the very act of traumatizing the astral part of the human is enough to, the word being used is like dampen or debilitate. It's interesting because just yesterday I was led to invest in some nanosoma, and
Oh,
I
wow.
I haven't done anything. I guess you know about that already.
Well, yeah, it's crazy that you said that because I just I had connected with Eve Lorgan and I was telling her about this experience and she recommended the nanosoma to me and sent me a coupon for it. That was just yesterday.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
just ordered it yesterday.
Wow.
Talk about being connected with you.
Yeah.
The reason I did that um, was that I something caught my eye in my research that talked about genetics,
Mm,
and I don't know that much about genetics,
mhm,
but when I saw that, it just that was what had me invest in some bottles.
mm.
So I just did. Just isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's crazy.
So you shared with Eve your experience at the concert, and right?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about the olfactory senses because my sense of smell has been muted since then. And we were talking about how these beings actually have a smell. Like I used to be able to smell them. They smell like garbage to me. So I would know when they were around. But ever since that experience, my smell's muted. So I can't pick up on them as easily. And sh-
Wow.
and so she had just got an email that day that was a review for nanosoma where the person was saying that they used it up their nose and they were able to retrieve their smell.
I read
So,
about that. They
yeah.
say up the nose helps the lungs to recover as well.
Mm,
But they also say that it can help people that have been jabbed. And they didn't talk about long haul, I don't think, in my research, but it seems like it's sort of, they're very similar, being jabbed in the long haul issues.
yeah.
I don't understand much of that, but it was just enough to say, okay, Iris, just do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it just mind blowing that you just shared with me what you shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel hopeful, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess the answer is that there must be some kind of genetic, quote, efforts at creating damage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can help that question along. That seems like my left brain's trying to go, you can't do that, Iris. You don't know how. Let me go back in and have you
Okay.
say something.
Yeah. Just relaxing back down, moving down deeper, drifting down, relaxing the mind. reminding the mind of all of this information that we retrieved today very easily, in fact. Iris is perfectly capable. Relaxing down, drifting down, and asking more about this attempt to create damage in the genetics. Tell me more about how that's happening.
Is some kind of a comparison between the way they're damaging genetics with the jabs
Mm,
and the same kind of technology being used on people that they knew would not ever get jabbed.
yes. Tell me more about that. So the people that got jabbed, are they having these kind of abduction experiences or no?
It's being said that they don't need to.
Right. So then the people that haven't been jabbed, are those the ones that are having these abduction experiences?
Because we are the ones that came in remembering a very deep truth that this place is worth fighting for.
Yeah.
This green earth.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that,
we would never harm our body that way knowingly.
right. So then, in an attempt to modify our genetics, they are infringing upon us in this way that we've seen today.
It's interesting. It's almost like the genetic part is like a back door.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the original intent because they're so cocky that they knew that if they could create enough fear, that the level of fear, if it were sustained, would be enough to epigenetically decimate the genetics.
Mm, okay. So they're not directly targeting the genetics, but they're creating enough fear to where our bodies will be compromised on their own through the fear and trauma.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that's across the board or just some of us.
Okay. What is the connection between the symptoms that the jabbed and the unjabbed are having? The unjabbed long COVID symptoms.
Soul sickness,
Mm,
that if the soul can be um, separated out as much as possible, then the human is at the behest of the control dynamics. There's nothing left to fight.
yeah, that makes sense.
The brainwashing just sort of takes over. So with the jabs just kill off the connection, whether that's genetic or I don't know what it is. Maybe you know what it is. And with those of us that are being abducted, the gamble is that the fear is going to blot out the connection that we're trying so hard to retain and enliven and grow.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm getting here is that it's a lie. It's not even true. But they've when they get into the brain, because the brain translates reality here,
Mm-hmm.
that it's possible to create a truth out of a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So what I'm wondering is, the connection between the both of them is soul sickness, right? And we know that we know the reason why the jabbed are having a soul sickness, and we understand that the soul sickness is being created by these abduction experiences. So my question is there any actual damage to the soul that is being carried out through these abductions? Is there any actual damage to the soul?
They can't,
Okay.
but they can make it feel like it's true that we have lost access.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what do we do? How do we move through this now? It's helping me understand why I was so on about the emergence gatherings. Some of these things are too big, they need more people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They want us to believe that the soul can leave a body completely. And they do that through the brain, by
Mm-hmm.
freezing the brain, injecting it with code that overrides everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that code seems to be frequency stimulated.
What do you mean by that?
They have, okay, it's weird. I'm hearing that they haven't figured out how to just come in and destroy things wholesale. They're not that evolved or advanced, but if they pair it with frequency manipulation, they just keep jumpstarting the same code. And every time they jumpstart the code, the body weakens, the emotions follow suit. The miasms, the ancestral miasms start to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
And the gamble is that the most amazing amongst us are going to fall victim. And just like a homeopathic dose is going to run through the population.
So what I'm hearing is that the frequencies are stimulating basically just keeping us in a traumatized state all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is set up because at the end of the era, they timed it because they know the cycles even better than we do. They
Right.
saw it coming. The thing is, Tina, they're gambling that we're going to believe it.
Right.
And if they can get to the brain, then there's a really good chance that people are just going to forget and succumb and be fried.
What can we do today? How can we help Iris recover from this soul sickness?
Well, we really need to include you and other people, right?
Yeah.
This is really about all of us. Unless you think that's the wrong way to go right now.
Well, honestly, I think we should focus on you. We can
Okay.
include me in the field, but I think
Okay.
if we focus on us, it will ripple out, and then we'll be able to better
Okay.
know how to help the others in the future. So let's start with this code that was injected. And we're going to ask the higher self to override this code and restore the original blueprint, the original divine blueprint.
It seems like there might be an effort to pull me out of that timeline. where the abduction occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I can't prove that, and I'm not even sure if it's true.
Moving back into that space where you were in the chair, you were feeling fear and paralysis. And tell me all the feelings that are coming up as you're sitting in that chair.
A sense of despair and hopelessness,
Mm-hmm.
feeling trapped in the body, feeling as if the intention was to take away my mind completely,
Mm-hmm.
and the fear,
Mm-hmm.
and being alone, just feeling alone,
Mm-hmm.
except for this one little gray critter in behind the screen.
Yeah. Okay. So feeling fearful, despair, hopeless, trapped in the body, like they're trying to take your mind away, feeling alone. Any other feelings that come up?
It's interesting. It's almost like a whisper from somewhere going, remember,
Mm.
like trying to make sure that I came out of this with some version of memory intact that was going to override what was happening to me.
Yeah. There's also a belief that all of this is more powerful than you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When they freeze the brain matter, something happens apparently,
Okay.
because the brain is what's creating the story.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Any other feelings that are arising?
A feeling that I'm bigger than this, but I don't know how to undo it.
Okay. Good. And all of these feelings together, what would you rate them on a scale of 0 to 10? 10 being the most intense you could feel.
All the feelings together,
Yeah.
probably an 8,
8. Okay.
because the paralysis seemed to blunt things a little bit,
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do a round of tapping to release all of these emotions associated with this experience. So you can either tap bilaterally on your thighs or cross your arms and tap on your upper arms, whatever is more comfortable
I'll
for
tap on
you.
my thigh.
Okay. And all you have to do is repeat after me and tap on your thighs. Okay.
Even if I can't feel the feelings right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
There's a part of me that knows how to,
And I'm just going to keep tapping,
and you
right?
just keep tapping. Yeah.
There's a part of me that knows how to
Let go and heal.
let go and heal.
These 8-level feelings
These 8-level feelings
of fear and paralysis,
of fear and paralysis,
despair and hopelessness,
despair and helplessness,
feeling trapped in my body,
feeling trapped in my body,
feeling like they're going to take away my mind,
feeling like they're going to take away my mind,
feeling alone,
feeling alone,
and believing that all of this is more powerful than me.
and believing that all of this is more powerful than me.
Very good. Keep tapping. Any other feelings that come up?
Surprise.
Surprise. Yeah. Surprise. Okay. Keep tapping and repeat after me. That part of my being is willing to
That part of my being is willing to
inform the rest of me now.
inform the rest of me now.
It is doing so now.
It is doing so now.
With unlimited love,
with unlimited love,
grace, and ease.
grace and ease.
My mind, body, and spirit
My mind, body, and spirit
are receiving the love,
are receiving love,
healing,
healing,
information,
information,
permission,
permission,
and deep relief now.
and deep relief now.
Take a deep breath. Experience any healing or insights.
Am I still tapping?
Yeah, still tapping. And repeat after me. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
Very good. Take a deep breath. Feeling back into that space and seeing if those emotions came down from an 8.
Yeah, they've come down.
Okay. What would you rate them now on a scale of 0 to 10?
Around a 4,
A
but
4.
more of like an observational 4. They might even be lower.
Okay. Let's do another round of tapping and see if we can bring it all the way down. So just tap and repeat after me. There's a part of me that knows how to
There's a part of me that knows how to
let go and heal.
let go and heal
These 4-level feelings
these 4-level feelings
of fear and paralysis,
of fear and paralysis,
despair and hopelessness,
despair and hopelessness,
feeling trapped in my body,
feeling trapped in my body,
feeling like they're going to take away my mind,
feeling like they're going to take away my mind,
feeling alone,
feeling alone,
and believing that all of this is more powerful than me,
and believing that all of this is more powerful than me,
feeling surprised.
feeling surprised.
Keep tapping. Any other feelings that come up?
No,
Keep tapping. That part of my being is willing to
that part of my being is willing to
inform the rest of me now.
inform the rest of me now.
It is doing so now.
It is doing so now.
With unlimited love,
With unlimited love,
grace, and ease.
grace and ease.
My mind, body, and spirit
My mind, body, and spirit
are receiving the love,
are receiving the love,
healing,
healing,
information,
information,
permission,
permission,
and deep relief now.
and deep relief now.
Keep tapping and take a deep breath. Feeling that relief.
Am I supposed to say that?
No.
Okay.
And just repeating after me again. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
You can stop tapping and take a nice big deep breath. Feeling the release, the relief, and feeling back into that space, seeing if that has come down from a 4.
It feels as complete as it could possibly be right now.
Okay, good. So let's start scanning through the body, bringing the awareness into the body. Noticing any areas of sensation associated with the abduction. Any implants or devices or technologies that they may have inserted into the body. Bringing your awareness inside the body. Any sensations that arise. Just let me know what you're noticing.
Well, I'm noticing something in the trachea.
Okay.
I think it's the trachea. At the very least, it's the throat chakra.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a little box.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about this box. What is it for?
It looks like it's meant to feed back to these populations the aftermath of what they did. In other words, is it working?
Mm. So it's sending data.
Sure looks like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the lungs themselves are, they've been struggling the last couple of weeks, so they're noticeable, not scary right now, but they're just noticeable. Like maybe they did something there too,
Okay.
maybe, or maybe just the impact of the pneumonia.
Okay. Let's start with the throat. I want you to just imagine that you're reaching in there, taking out that box. You can build a fire next to you and throw it right in the fire. Making sure you get all of that energy out of the throat, any residual energy.
It feels like I'm just taking that thing out by the wires and cauterizing whatever's left in there.
Yeah.
Like it feels like if I pulled the whole thing out, it would kill me or something almost. A weird feeling. But cauterizing feels like it's dying off anything that's left in there.
Okay. Is that belief that if you remove it, you'll die? Is that an implanted belief?
Most likely, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Just feeling the truth in that. Does that feel true to you?
Yeah, the whole thing was like almost like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to cover all their bases.
Yeah, sure. So that it's safe to go ahead and take that out.
The box itself is out and it's been tossed. Um, it feels like I've killed off the edges of whatever's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pull the wires out that are left. Um,
Just go ahead and pull them.
all right.
Yeah.
They definitely seem alive.
Mm-hmm. Like they have their own consciousness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which no doubt, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see that a lot. It's usually like a combination of organic and AI kind of technology. So you can just pull all of those out and throw them in a fire. That fire will transmute them.
Just did.
Beautiful. So feeling back into the throat, just noticing how it's feeling now.
Definitely feels more clear.
Good. Would you like to place some light in there for healing?
I just put some selenite in there.
Oh, perfect. All right.
In other words, I just took the selenite and just worked it. So
perfect. Okay, so feeling into the lungs now. Noticing anything in the lungs, any implants or devices, anything that you notice inside of the lungs that is not organic to your body.
I'm seeing what looks like a lot of like light scarring, and I want to say some blood clotting, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Is there anything inorganic inside of the lungs that is causing the scarring or the clotting?
Give me a minute for that one. That's a really great question. I just had a deja vu on top of it, which is fun.
Mhm.
I haven't even used that word in a long time.
Take your time.
It's like that thing they did with the code. The code itself was like a program
Mm-hmm.
that is part of the overall viral, what they're calling the virus program.
Mm.
It's like it's like it's like it would be like the body completely bought that it had pneumonia and then acted as if it did.
Wow.
And then it created it.
Right.
The body cells actually bought the program.
Mm.
So in one respect, the body is experiencing it as a reality. And on the other level, it's just this five fired up program.
Right.
And
So,
every time the lung symptoms come back, it's probably just implemented through a 5G switch.
right. Very interesting. So where is this code or program located in the body? Is it in the brain or somewhere else? I want you to visualize that.
It's in the cognitive function of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the neocortex thing was?
Yes. Yeah. And what does the program look like?
It's like really layer after layer after layer of packed numbers, like code. I don't know what code looks like. I'm just talking.
Well, I think you're spot on because the night we had our abduction, Karen also noticed she was seeing code.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to validate what you're seeing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the ormus and the gold and then the what's the stuff that I bought yesterday? Oh, the
Nano?
next I hope it all supports the body and the genetics.
Absolutely, it will. And you are a creator being. So right now you can take that code out of the brain. It does not belong to you.
How do I do that?
Well, you can do it just like you remove the box from the throat. You can reach in there and pull all of that code out. It's just a program. It's not yours. It's inserted there. Just pulling all of that out. Throwing it into the fire.
Oh God, this is so horrible, you know.
Doing a really good job. And we can help so many other people with this information.
You'll figure it out. I don't know how to do that. But we'll figure something out together, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, you see a lot of people that have gone through abductions, obviously, but yet you made it look like your experience and Karen's and mine and Ellen's were different than what you've come across. Is that right?
Yes, it
What
is right.
makes it different than the people that you're working with, where you understand the dynamics of what's happening? There's obviously an overlap somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, the difference, there's similarities in the trauma, but this was specifically geared to create that program in the body, um, to generate illness
And the
over.
people that you're working with aren't saying as much.
No, no. This is
Or
a very specific abduction experience related to COVID and all of those things.
so the abduction people that you work with aren't necessarily having experienced COVID coming to you.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Most people I've found that have COVID symptoms or are not aware consciously of what's actually happening to them. So that,
Agreed.
yeah,
So that I'm sorry.
so that we don't, besides you and your friend and Karen and I, we haven't had contact with many with this specific experience.
Wouldn't have the language.
Right.
That she just wouldn't. It's just, but she's tried to study and research certain videos. I've talked with her some.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to make sense out of it in a way that helps to quell her fear, but she doesn't have a database and that she can access to talk about it.
Right.
So, but her experiences are very similar. Not the abduction, she wouldn't call it that, more like what's happening to her in the middle of the night, the really weird shit.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. How's the removal of that program going?
I think it really pissed me off to do it. So there must have been some reality to what was just happening where,
What do you mean it pissed you off?
well, it created an anger in my body.
Mm,
The act of taking that out, I just found myself really angry.
interesting. Do you feel that was also an implanted? They're almost like fail safes. So when you go to remove these kinds of things, they can generate a fail safe so that you won't remove it. So the belief
Yeah,
that if you remove the box that you're going to die, or the
yeah.
anger that arises in your body when you attempt to remove the program, they're entered in as almost like fail safes to prevent you from doing so.
Well, I could see that would be true. Originally, I thought it was just me being um, just angry,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see that you could be spot on about that.
Yeah.
So you want me to go back in and see what's left in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking at like almost like a bigger or a master program. It's almost like waiting like dominoes.
Mm,
It must be their plan,
mm-hmm.
that they're just going to swoop right fucking in and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. You got any ideas?
I mean, it sounds spot on to me. There's usually several things that they've done. So,
So how do I protect from that happening as a domino effect?
well, we're going to remove whatever this is here. So, what does it look like? Describe it for me.
It would be like a funnel with just something waiting to just get poured in.
Mm. Okay,
floating
good.
right above.
Good. Go ahead and remove that funnel.
It's interesting. It doesn't seem to have as much substance as I thought it was going to have.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably some truth in this being a real fucking lie, that they found a way to take a lie and make it real in vulnerable people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'll remind you exactly what you said. You said that this was overlaying a story on the brain that is like a dark movie theater, a dense illusion, deepening the fear. So it is technically all an illusion that they're creating within us. It's just a tactic to keep us in that fear and trauma because they can control us that way.
Yeah. And then they use back it up.
Right. To activate it. Yeah. Okay. So you're able to remove that funnel.
I believe so, yeah.
Good. Very good. So scanning through the brain again, I want to make sure that it's all clear. So noticing any other infringements on the brain, anything else that doesn't belong there.
The brain seems clear, but it seems vulnerable, like it wants to know that it's going to be okay.
Okay.
Like I don't know, like a light protection or
Yeah. Go
something.
ahead. You can even put a helmet on, like a golden helmet
I was
around it.
thinking about using a hematite helmet.
Yeah, that's a great
Something like
idea.
that. Yes, I've used something like that before. It's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. Go ahead and put that on.
Okay.
Very good. Great work, Iris. So moving back into the lungs now. You said that what was happening in the lungs was connected to the program in the brain. Do you notice that the lungs have changed any, or are they still looking the same?
I think it's going to take a little while for this to make a difference.
Okay. Just
That might be a belief, but
just bringing in some healing energy to the lungs.
yeah, I get the feeling that that's really needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like coming out of a war zone and just being completely out of it.
Yeah. Bringing in that healing energy. What are you using for the lungs?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking the lungs what they want. They also want to be protected,
Yeah.
which I'm not surprised. It's like the whole body complex feels like it's been it feels like it's been victimized. And you know, and the old New Earth Iris used to say, well, that's not real, but for the body's experience is having felt victimized. So to be contained even by touch, by me touching my lungs right now and offering compassion,
Yeah.
at least they know that there's somebody um, that's still here that hasn't been taken.
Yeah.
I think that'll
Beautiful.
help.
Yeah. Very good.
You getting tired?
Okay. Just have a couple more things to touch on. I want you to notice if there are any contracts that have been made with these beings, consciously or unconsciously. Any contracts that come forward.
Knowing that we would be entering the light and dark field,
Mm-hmm.
there was a real probability that there would be an attack,
Mm-hmm.
but it was never meant to be a contract. It was never an agreement, but it was a danger.
Okay. So this was a violation of free will.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Are there any agreements made with these beings during this experience?
Oh boy, what a question.
Consciously or unconsciously? We see that happen sometimes.
It's like almost like if I were going to say an agreement, it would be like to be obedient.
mm,
Something like that, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. Just to obey,
yeah,
to buy the program, in other words.
right. Compliant.
Compliance, right? That word
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. So I want you just to see that contract and burn it.
Have you seen that word used before in other sessions?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Huh.
Yeah. Taking back your consent, asserting your sovereignty, and burning that contract. We're not playing along with this infringement and this violation anymore. Taking back your power, your strength, your sovereignty. Having complete control over your body, mind, your entire system. No one has the right to infringe upon it. How's that going?
It's sinking in.
Yeah. Knowing that you're more powerful than all of this. They've injected you with beliefs, trying to make you believe that you're weak and that they can have control over you. But that is not true. They're all lies. These beings are masters of deception. They want you to see yourself as weak and vulnerable and victimized and violated. But you're stronger than all of that, more powerful than all of that. That's why they need to do all of this, because they know of your power and you're a threat to them. So when you can see it from that perspective and realize that you're the actual threat, then it's easier to feel the power within you. You are your power.
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
So I want you to imagine this whole scene from the where you were in the chair, everything that has to do with the abduction. Imagine it like it's on a movie screen. Just see it projected in front of you. And we're going to begin shrinking down that screen until it disappears altogether. Just shrinking it all the way down until it disappears from your subconscious, from your system. And tell me what you notice as you do that.
Well, I noticed that I as the screen shrinks, that I get up, I take off the apparatus, I walk out of the room and close the door and return back to the room that I began at that day.
Beautiful. And how is your day different now that you've left that space behind?
I want to say that the immune system is back to being sovereign. It doesn't feel hijacked. It's just taking care of a sinus infection.
Very good. So was that sinus infection? Was that a vulnerability? Is that how they got in? Or what was the connection there?
It was definitely a vulnerability.
Okay.
And I remember many people that got sick initially complained of a sinus issue,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know the exact answer to that question. I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
Do you know? Do you know the answer?
No, I don't. But I asked because Karen was noticing that she wasn't feeling well in the days leading up to our experience.
As in
Um,
sinus or something different?
yeah. Well, yeah, it was sinusy and just like kind of weakness and overall body aches. So I'm wondering if it was a natural process that was occurring that they took advantage of, um, because the system was weaker and that created an opening and allowing for them to come in.
I can't imagine you being wrong about that at all,
Okay.
but I don't know. It's a really good question.
Okay. So I want you to see yourself that day back in your office, feeling your immune system sovereign again, feeling powerful. And how does your day turn out differently?
Noticing a day where I take the day off and I clear the schedule and I just rest,
Hmm.
help out the immune system in any way I can. But the fear isn't there.
Beautiful. Very good. Very, very good. So I want you just to check in on your auric field. Last thing, check for any holes or cracks, any openings, and just seal all of those up, sealing up your auric field.
The field is quite lovely. It's like a light goldish with a light purple and
Mm,
white. Seems to be all throughout the field.
beautiful. Just
I
strength.
think all that stuff is like connection color, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just strengthening that layer of protection, making it stronger and brighter, creating a solid bubble of protection around you. Stronger and brighter. And calling those beautiful colors, those golden, purple, and white colors into the body, breathing them in, and allowing for those beautiful colors to flow throughout the entire body, feeling that feeling of wellness spreading throughout your body. Bringing the body and the entire system back to its original form. Entire system is returning to its original form before any of this happened. Feeling that wellness spreading throughout your entire body. And as you come up, you will feel lighter and lighter, happier and happier, more in sync with your divine self, your purpose here on earth, feeling sovereign, protected, and strong. Feeling lighter and lighter as you come up, you will sleep peacefully and wake up refreshed and ready for a brand new day. When you wake up now, you will be the most aligned and light, happy feeling, ready to start a brand new life Just taking note of the expansion in your heart, the increased depth of your wisdom and your knowing. Sending gratitude to all who participated. Coming fully back into your body, bringing all of your energy and consciousness into the body. All of your energy and consciousness is returning into the physical form. Reinforcing your grounding root, staying connected to the earth.